Hi, Internet viewers. Frank Rauscher again. We're working on the goldfinch. We got the mantle all out. I marked up and burned all the outlines of the primaries and secondaries and so on in this area up in here. And we got the wing out here. And I'm going to show you how to handle getting the detail in for the rest of the feathers here, okay? So if you bear with me, I'm going to show you, and we'll go through all the steps and showing you how to burn it, how to lift it, and so on. And then we'll move on, and we'll get this portion done. And then probably in the next video, we'll start in on the tail as far as the top, and I'll take you on that journey. Just wanted to mention to you, if anybody is interested in doing the goldfinch, I do have kits available, and I have patterns. If somebody wants to cut their own blanks out and so on, you can get the patterns separately. I have feet, the eyes, they're all separate. You can get it any which way you want. The kit has everything in it. Also have a catalog with the micro grinders that I use, and the same way with the Fordhams for hogging to get the material down. I do have bits. I have diamond bits. I have ruby bits. I have tungsten carbide bits for taking the material down. So if you need any of that, the way you want to get to me is to write to me through my email address, and it's Rauscher, Rauscher, Frank, Frank, 7 at gmail.com. And if you want, I could send you the catalog out, and that has a list of all the items I carry. And also there's a contact number if you need to get a hold of me, or you can write to me through the comments section of this video or through my email as well. And either way, you can get a hold of me, and we'll definitely try to get the items out to you that you'd like to have. And I have several kits of different birds and everything else, so it's just not what I'm doing at this point in time, but I have other videos out there with other birds. So I just want to let you know that I have a variety of things if you're interested in doing it. I know one gentleman just recently had sent me a photo of the items he had done, which were very interesting. And he also had shown me in his backyard, he has an elk. And it was just brought to mind, I did an elk as a kit for him, if anybody ever wanted to try that too. It has the horns and everything else, and you carve that out of wood. And I have that pattern if anybody's interested as well. So it's just not birds, but I've done animals. I've done raccoons. I've done otters, which I do have a series of videos on the otters and so on. So just want to let you know, I've done fish, frogs, turtles. So if you're ever interested in things, I do have a list of items that you can get in a kit form, as well as the goldfinch. So, but we're proceeding on, and I will take you so you can follow me. I'll get the camera to turn down so that you can watch as I perform doing the detailing on the feathers, okay? And how to lift them and so on. So bear with me. Oh, one other thing. If you could subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that greatly. That really helps on my count. And if you have any friends or if you're part of a carving group or something like that, and you can get my information out to them so that they could subscribe, I'd really appreciate that as well. That's really a great help and for me. So I'm trying to get as many people involved in what I'm doing, and I'm trying to give you everything that I taught in a class. This is basically like you're getting classes from me that I normally had taught a group. I used to run about 4 classes a week. So just wanted to let you know that these are coming through the videos, and it's I hope it's helpful to everybody, that you're getting something out of it. And if there's any questions you have as far as how to, and I may have confused you in my detailing of it in the videos, definitely give me a comment, and let me know if there's something that I could help you with or something like that. I'll try to do that. And if there's in some cases I may not have the pattern you want, I can put you on to other people that may have it. So definitely contact me when you get a chance. In the meantime, we're going to march on doing the feathering for the goldfinch. So bear with me. Okay, here's what I want to mention to you as far as the grouping goes. It works this way. This grouping here is like the top feather as far as the layering as it goes down. These are on top. Then these come next, coming down. Then you would get these in, and then you would do these last. Now, I do this side first because these feathers are folding over top of these. So we're going to have to lower these a little bit more when we go to come up here. We want to give the illusion that these feathers on this side are laying under this one. So I'm going to show you several different methods on how to lift these feathers, because like up here, we've basically burned, and this gives it a very soft look in here, just like when we did up on the head and we textured here. These are, it's a real smooth texture right in here and in the mantle, and that's the way it is. When we get to do these in this grouping here for the wing development, we lift them to give them more character. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple different bits. This is called a diamond with a safe end. It has no diamond on the end, and when you get it into your machine, what you have is it won't redo your burn. It actually, what it does, it actually follows the burn line so that it acts as a stop to burn line. So let me show you. I'm going to come in here and do this. Now, I'm not going to try to go into the mantle feathers at all, but I'm starting right along the burn here. I'm laying this flat, and I'm coming around. And these are pretty good, because you just go right over even the feathers that got burned already. You can just go over them to get that lift. You want to get a lift right on through here. And you could do the top of the feather just to soften it out. Then I'll come down to the next one, because you're doing each one. We did this one here. Now I'm going to come around here, like so. And I'm going to get the next one. And I'm trying to flatten it in a sense and then come around so that each one, this is diamond, by the way. It's a diamond safe end, and it works out really nice. Now, this comes around, and then you get the next one. And if you notice, I'm actually going over some of the burn that I did on the feathers below this. So I'm not really worrying about them. I can always come back and reburn it if I take enough away. So there's a whole row that I've done with this, and it's just butting it right up to the burn line, and then coming around and following it and cleaning it up. Now, another way of doing it is this way, and you may have seen me done this before. The safe ends are pretty nice, and the diamonds are, it's a fine diamond. I also have this diamond. This is the bullet that I talk about a lot, and these work out very well too. You have to have a little more of a steady hand because you're using the front end of this, and you want to make sure that you're getting the tip in there, and at the same time you're flattening it out, even though you have a rounded surface in there. So this is a little more flatter and can flatten things out a lot easier. So I'm going to do this next grouping coming down. We'll get this one in a minute here. I did all of these, and they're nice and lifted. It's only got if you can get your nail in there and just get a little edge, that's all you need. It's not like you got to go forever. Now, I'm running these full out on my machine. My machine here that I have is 35,000. I also have a 45,000 that I use too. Just depends on what's available at the time. I just grab these. Now, on the bullet, I'll come in and just clean the top on this one real quick. And what I should do is come back where the mantle started up here. I'm just going to clean that out, because this has a point to it, and I can get right up there and give a little bit of a lift right up here at the front, so that mantle is sort of covered, and I can even come over here. And I'll get this side afterwards. I'm going to show you everything on one side, and then we'll approach the other side here, okay? So here we go. I'm going to do this feather right here, and I'm going to undercut, and I get my tip at the front end, right up to the burn. I'm going to come around. Now, I want to get a lift, so I'm coming down all the way through here and taking a little bit more material out than I normally do. I press a little bit harder so that these are lifting a little bit more. And I'm coming around here. Now, I'll go to the next one. Now, if my burn dissipates because I didn't go deep enough, I'll come back and re-enhance this, okay, with the burn again. But I'm just going to run this right along that. I think I'm okay, but in the top there, I'm going to clean out. I'm going to undercut this around here and join up with what I did along the side here. Then I'm coming into this one. Hope you can see this well. I'm not going out of camera range, which I do once in a while. I come through here. Then I'm going into the next one. And come down, and I'm coming around. Notice, I'm not worrying about the feathers below it. Some of you will want to kick this thing up so you don't take these down. You want to take them down because they are lower. So when you're coming off and you're planing around here to relieve this feather, you're actually taking some of the material below this so that you can get the feeling that these are on top and these are below, okay? So you do have to take some off. Now, you got to be a little steadier. The safe end may be a little more forgiving for you. And if you got the control, these are fine. And to have this bit, and that's the only one you got, use it, you know. Even the flame tip ruby is good for this too. But again, you got to get it sort of at the front end flat and point it right on that edge. And then you want to get this lift, just like we lifted this a little bit deeper when we undercut it. You want to undercut this a little bit. So I'm going to come around here, and if you notice, I'm losing some of the burn here. I'll come back and capture that in a minute. But I want this so it's lifting, even though I'm taking each one individually, I would like a little bit more of a lift in here. So let me come in here, clean this up right up to the last grouping I did. Let me come around, and I'll do this one. Come around, do the next one. Come around. Now I make these look easy, okay? Because I've been doing this a long time. But you take your time and you get it done right, and don't rush anything. Not everything goes as easy as I make it sometimes, okay? So I got this grouping done down to here. Now this grouping here, these four, I want to do next. So I'll smooth my surface just with a light touch. I'm going to come around here where they separate and come over here, and I'm going to take material out, going back past this first feather there, I should say the second feather, so that this edge is lifted. Then I'll do the next one. And at the time when I did this one, to get this one released, it smooths out this second feather behind it. Now I'm doing the third feather, and I'm really relieving the second feather on the back end here. So I come around here. Then here I'm doing the fourth feather. And I don't want to go into these, so I try to be careful. Get the point in there. And then you got this grouping down here, which is your primary. And I'm going to come right over them. And I don't want to go into the secondaries, which is this grouping here. So let me just undercut this just a little bit more. It's like if you can get your nail in there, and as you're clicking by it, it grabs it, then you're deep enough. So it's not like you're going to China to get it in there. Now, just to show you, I'm going to stop this for a second. I'm going to get my burner out because I'm losing some line work here. And the smart thing is to put this in without losing the framework of your feathers. So you can come back in and just touch that up. And even on these that we did, if you didn't think you got it deep enough, or you can always come back and just ride your feather down again and come around and do it again, you know. This acts as like if you were using knives, and a lot of times you make a cut, which is a stop in a sense. You're doing the same thing here. This burning pen right now is like a stop cut. And we're creating the burn line is acting as a stop cut, okay? So that when we come back, if I wanted to enhance that, or if I lost some detail below here, I just go back and reburn it again. It's a little bit more work, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. And like I said, I want that lift right in here. This grouping here, along here, is a little deeper from here down and around and down here. Okay, so these should stand out. Now, I want to do this one here. So these on this side are going to be on top because this wing is folding over and these feathers are underneath. So watch me here. I'm going to undercut this feather along here. And I'm going to just keep on undercutting right on down, okay, just to get that started. Then I'm going to come back and get this individual feather out a little bit more. Now, I could have came back with the safe end on any of these, but I'm just staying with this bit right now. There's several ways you can do this. My hand's pretty steady so far, but as I get younger here, I don't have the control of the steadiness. So each bit helps. So I took all this feathering, and I got this out, and I'm coming all the way around, and it's not like it's got to go to kingdom come for the cut. It doesn't. You're lifting it ever so slightly, but enough that you get separation. So I'm coming down on this one. I'm coming around. This is the second feather. And if you happen to lose something along the way, because I could see, like, I'll point this out to you in a second here. Here's one feather where the burn is starting to dissipate. Here it is right here. I'm going to go back and just touch that up, okay? Not that I had to, but I'm doing that. And then if you want, you could come back while you have the pen out and just go around these again a little bit deeper, just a little bit, just to get them lifted and burnt sharply, that when we do take them down, as we step down, they'll be still, the impression of the burn will still be there, okay? So here we go again. I'm going to come from back here. I'm riding that all the way down. I'm undercutting, trying to get rid of this, get the lift on the second feather here. Come here. I want these to stand out a little bit more. Then I'm going to go to the third feather, which is the next one down. I'm undercutting around that feather. I'm coming along that edge. And I'm taking this all the way down to that grouping of 4 down at the end there. And you may have a corner that gets a little high in here. So if you didn't get it down before, you may want to lower at this point. There's like an edge that may run right through here. Make sure you get that down and you don't have a drop off. This is a nice smooth run right up and around. And then you're undercutting this a little bit deeper each time to get separation. Okay. Then we'll come down to the last feather here, and I'll undercut that one. But this one falls short. It doesn't go all the way to the end. This sort of tails off right here. That's fine. And then we get this. That one out. And I'm going to undercut the last one just a little bit. I'm going to show you. We're going to come in and be a little more drastic on that. But you can see I'm still relieving it on the outside. And this is the wing line that we developed. And that's coming up into the tail here. Okay. Now, I definitely want this to go down. So this gives the illusion. These are on top and these are on the bottom. Okay, so I'm just coming in here, doing some final ones. I don't know if I have enough still to lift. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my burning pen out, because here's what's happening here. These feathers over here, because I was losing them, because I was trying to lift these on this side, I'm going to come back in and just reburn this. This came in and stopped there. This came up and turns. This one came up and turns. This came up and turned, and this one came up and turned. Okay, so I'm going to burn both sides again, just for the sake of it, to get a little more lift. I'm going to start on this side. I'll give the pen a second to heat up. Then I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to sharpen that by giving me a sharp edge, and come around right through there. And I'm going to come on this one, turn right here, and just get that edge sharpened. Okay. Then I'm going to come over here, and you notice these feathers keep on going a little past center. Here's your center line here. And these show that they encroach onto the other side. And because we had these as pencil lines, we're just going in to make sure that they're strong enough. If I come back and do a little more undercutting on here, that they'll be nice and sharp, and I can lift them a little bit more. The other side really got devastated because I came in and really pushed the material away, so that this grouping is on top of that one. That's a must. So I'm going to come back now on this side just to save the outline of this feather right here. Hope I'm not drifting again. So this stops as if like it went under that one. This one just turns in and stops there. This one turns right there. This one is right there. And I'm just reinforcing all of these outlines with the burning pen again. Okay. Just like that. And then I'll get this one to encroach right at the end here. Like that. Okay. Now I'm going to come back in again. Going to get my micro grinder. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to undercut this again, just to give me a little bit more of a sharper edge of a lift. And even lower these again, believe it or not, just slightly. And I'll even take it back a little further so that these are still looking like they're rolling over and not a hump. So I'm going to come around here, clean this one up. I'll clean this one up. Hope I didn't go out of camera range again. And then I'll clean this one up. And each time I'm taking a little bit more off on each one at the end here, which gives me that illusion. Now, I'm going to start on these guys. Just like this, I'm going to undercut this one on this side too, a little deeper, just like I did along here. I want these to stand out a little bit more. I'm going to do the same thing on this side for this one. I'm just going to show you what's happening right here. I have to get back to these. So here's what I do. I undercut right up to, let's pull that back. I won't do it all up here because we should be doing the tops and on down. That's the sequencing. You want the same thing you do over here, you got to do over there, except I'm trying to show you what develops down here. Skipping the process a little bit, but you'll see it. It'll all come out. So I'm undercutting each one of these, and this is lowering so that this looks like it's going under there. At least that's the illusion we're trying to project here. And I'm just doing this locally to here. So there should be a good flick in there where you got some depth, and these are going to look like they're going down. Now, you could have a ridge line right in here, so when you are doing these, make sure you're flattening this back further, okay? So I sort of cheated. I did all of this side, and then I started down here because I wanted to show you how this lays. Now we'll go back to these again. This is the top grouping right here. So I'm just going to undercut just a hair along the mantle, just to give a little definition of the feathers in front. And I mean just a little. I'm not really trying to lift them that much. Just to show that the mantle is there and the mantle feathers are there. Now I'm going to do this whole grouping right here. So I come in here and I smooth the top. Then I undercut along here. Come all the way around and get the first one done. I should say the second one is really, which projects the first one out. Then that one. And I come along. That one. Now you could do this with the flame, the ruby flame, the bullet shape, or the safe end, depending on your steadiness. So there you go. We got them out pretty good. Okay, so we got that grouping out. Now we're going to do this grouping all the way down to here. So I'm going to get the surface cleaned and nicely smoothed out. Then I'm going to undercut from along here, and I'm going to come down. I don't want to bang into this feather yet. And the one thing you want to do too, these feathers are on top of this, so I don't know if I stated it enough. When you come around and do this one on this side, this one has to look like it's on top, these here, and these get lowered a little bit more, just local to here. So if I didn't, I don't want you, when this comes down, this goes like this. You start here and undercut a little deeper, then you're coming around, and then all of these are going to be raised all the way down to this group of four we have down here. But this will happen somewhat naturally the way we do it from before, but I want you to get your point in from about here to here. And then this feather should be lower because this grouping is on top of this, and this is below this. So I'll show you how we handle this. So I'm just transitioning some of the, flattening this out a little bit more to get these down. I'll have to reburn them again. And so we got this one cleaned, and I'm coming around now from up here. And I'm coming all the way around, and I'm just lifting them. It's not like I have to get them up real high. I don't. They're like paper thin. But the idea is that get each one out and lift it. And you can see as I go by with with the bit, if I do it correctly without getting a lot of ripples in there, you're trying to get a nice smooth surface in there. If you don't have that capability, then I have sanders that come in that have a point that could go right in there and smooth that out for you. You're not steady enough, okay? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 out all the way around. Okay. And then we start down on this grouping. So I'm going to, for this feather here, to raise that up over on this side, I start over here, undercut along here. Then I do the outside, and this is for the next feather down. And you're always doing the feather below it, really, before you actually get to do the feather you're working on. Always one below. There you go. And all of them have a lip to them, okay? And if they don't, come back and get them in there. Lower these, okay? Now, because you may have done that, or you may have lost a little something in there, like I said, it's easy to do this. You can come back on the pen with the pen, and you can burn right back in. Just stick it into your groove there, and just lay it in there, and come around, and get each one in sharp again. And if you need to, you can cut it again, okay, to get a nice sharp edge so that when your grinder comes along, it'll cut right up to that burn, okay? And I'll show you. Now, I enhanced those, okay? Now, I was losing this feather here again, so I'm going to come over here and follow that without losing it. And then I'll follow this line. Comes around. I'll come this way to get that to tuck in. I'm going to come in on this one and ride it. Whip. Here we go. Ride that back. Takes a little bit of a steady hand. I'm walking this myself a little bit. I got to watch. Pays to take a longer run if you have the steadiness, like so. And once you're in that groove, it'll track it. And then this comes up to here. Then I'm going to come back on this one and run that up. And I don't mind burning this a second time. To me, it gives me a nice, sharp, feathered edge, and that's what I'm looking for. So I don't mind doing double duty, okay? And I'm coming up. I'm turning right into there, okay? And then this last one just follows suit right in here. Now, okay, and now we got these 4 up front here too, and I'll just enhance them just a little bit too. We got this one. We got the edge of the wing right here. So let me just run down on that. Then I'll come around on this one. And then this one. And then this one. Okay. And then I'll get this last leg of that last feather in there. Okay. I think we're in good shape there now. So let me go back with the bullet again. And what we could do is I could just clean up those edges real quick, get my point right in there, and get them out. Now I'm going to undercut along here. I'll smooth this top out, and I undercut that. And I'm going to undercut the next one, and the next one, and this one. and I'm smoothing out the top of it at the same time. I also want to undercut outside here from the mantle down, and I'm going to show you some more of that in a minute here. So all of these are lifted just the way I want, and I don't want that real deep. They don't have to be real deep. So I'm going to undercut now this side, and I want them to have the appearance that this group down in here are under these. So I have to lower this a little bit right in here. So all this gets raised. This grouping is on top of these. Now I'm going to come in like we did when I was doing that side. We're going to finish this. We're going to take this down. We're going to take that down. And then I'm bringing this over. Then I'm getting the next one. I'm trying to go in a little deeper so it looks like they're going underneath. And then I come over. Then I do the next one. I get the tip right in there. I bring that over. Put that in. Doing this one. Okay. Like this. To there. And these have, this grouping here has to look like they're going under at least the end ones here. Okay, these are a group of 4. And then the last one is out here. So now we have lifted all the feathers, okay? And I'm going to undercut up here too, just to get that going. Now, this wing right now is hugging the body. And I don't have the original one here with me, but I'm going to show you what happens here. From about the second feather down, I'm going to start undercutting with it could be the flame, like the ruby flame, like this one, or the bullet. You want to lay it so it's right next to the burn, but you want to keep the burn, and you're undercutting that. Let me do something here. One of the smart things to do is to get this bit out a little bit further, because you're trying to reach in there. There you go. Right about there. Now make sure it's not too far out neither. You don't want to do that neither. So what I'm doing is I'm laying this bit flat on the surface, and I'm following the wing line, and I'm coming up to about the second feather back here. And when I come up here, you notice I'm trying to stay right on that wing line that came up. I'm going to bring that all the way up to the top here. So I'm going to lay this in here. And take your time. Get it tracking. This is coming right on up to the tail. And make sure you're taking your time and you're not redoing the feather that you have in there. Okay, and sometimes, here's where we go for the flame. This is even pointier than the bullet, so I'm going to revert to that one on this, and I'm going to come in here. And I'm going to track right through what I did there. And I'm almost going to go down to the width of this bit, which is pretty thin. Not It's not a real heavy bit, but I want to make the depth of this channel the width of this bit. I'm trying to bury that bit in there almost to the width of the bit, so that the depth of this bit should be almost the depth of the wood right here. I'm going to show you here. Okay. And you get the point down in there. And we're getting some really good depth in there. So there's like separation, because this wing is sort of laying on the breast area and not flat. So I came in, I'm sorry, I may have drifted there a little bit. I'm going to get back, trying to get you to see this better. Bringing this in. And you can see I got a pretty good groove in there. Now, I want this edge to blend back into the breast. So watch me on this. I'm going to change this out. And I'm going into what they call a flat flame. It's the same as this one. It's a ruby, but you can see how thin this one is. You can see how fat that one is. This works out really good in there. This gets the point in there. I want to go into that channel. If I put a pencil line in there just so I can show you some depth. This thing's coming all the way up. It really will go all the way over too. But I'm doing one side here just to get you going. This is an outside edge of the channel. The other edge is right on our wing line, okay? So I want to blend this back into here, into the breast area. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to start up here, get that point in there, and I'm blending this. You can notice it moves further inward now. And I'm going to come down here, and then I'm tilting my bit so it comes up and around here, like so. And I'm lowering the tail, okay? This material up top here. So I'm doing that. So you can see the edge has now moved. That was closer before. It's out to here now. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is keep on rolling that so it comes towards the center of the breast. So I'm coming in here. And you're blending this with the middle of this bit as well now to get the roundness. See, and all that channel goes away. And you have a nice rounded surface that comes out of here, shouldn't show any remnant, and it should come right around. So this should flow right out of there and around, not going in deep. And I just felt something in there, so I'm going to get that point back in there and clean that out of there, especially right along here. And then I'm rolling it some more. So it wants to come right out of that valley and around, okay, and not a dip in. So you can do that. Then up here, you're sort of taking some of the material away here. Not a lot, but enough to get the lift in there, okay? I don't know how well you can see that. And we're going to go in with other bits here. Excuse me. And I will show you how to clean this out more, okay? But for now, that's what you want to do. You're starting at this feather right here, the second one, where you transition it back to the wing here without getting deep, but then it gets deeper as it comes down, okay? You're going to do the same thing on this side. You're starting from this feather, coming down with the bullet or the flame along this edge and do the exact same thing, okay? So I'm going to it's just a repeat. Whatever I did on this side, I'm going to ask you to do that on this side. I want you to get this bit or the bullet and undercut it from here and get pretty deep, at least to the width of that bit, right on down and up and around, just like I did here, okay? Now, I still see a little bit of the edge of the channel up here. So let me just, I'm going to use this right here just to clean it up just a little bit. There you go. That takes care of that. So this is transitioning up. I'll get the words out. And you're going to do the same thing on this side. And you're using the small flame, okay? And you're going to do both sides the same way. And you're always trying to lower from here down and here down so that these have a lip to them, okay? And then what I want you to do is in the middle there, you can come in here and just soften that out so it has a nice roll over here, right in the middle here. Right where the center line would have been. You can keep that center line, but it'll have a rolling effect in here, okay? Just a slight rollover, all right? So that basically shapes the sides, and you'll do this side just like this side, okay? Now, what I want to do to expedite some time here and everything else, now I'm going to show you how to texture the bird. Now, the bird has quills to it, but not every feather shows a quill. So I'm going to run a line down here like that. I'm going to run one here. I'm going to show one here. I have another one there. You're not going to see these down here. Up here, you'll have one feather with the quill, and you won't see it on the rest. Down here, these four, you'll see the quill. There's a quill there, quill there, quill there, and a quill there, just like that, okay? This one down here has a quill going this way. Then you'll have little ones sticking out on the ends here, just like that. Now, on this side, we're doing the same thing. We've got a quill coming down this one, got a quill coming down this one, and this one. And that's all you're going to have. You'll have one down here too, coming this way. And then for this one, you'll have this one up here, and that's the only one. Now, these four down here have their own. You got a quill here, and a quill here. All four have their quills, okay? Now, I'm going to show you how to burn these. First, we get the quill in, and I'm just going to do a single line quill. If it was a bigger bird where the quill is more prominent, we would do a double line. But these are so small, it just doesn't matter. So I'm going to come in, and I'm going to lay my burner right on there and get the quill in first. And I'm going to do that for all of them. I'm just going to do half of this. You can do the other half. This is exactly the same thing on one side as the other. So I'm going to do it this way. I got them. I got these four up here. So I go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then down here, I got this one, this one, this one, this one, okay? Now, normally, a lot of times, I'm always pushing and pulling. In this case here, for these feathers, I want to lower those edges that we just raised slightly. Believe it or not, we're going to come in, and I'm going to burn from the outside in, and it's a 45-degree angle. So watch me here. In fact, a lot of times I could see better without my glasses. I have the Optimas on right now, which are the magnifiers. So I'm going to go on a 45-degree angle to the quill. I'm burning like this, and I'm trying to get my line work to every square inch of that one, okay? Even if you have to go back to catch a spot you missed. There's the first feather, okay? Now, for this grouping going down, this side here, only half of this feather is what's showing down here. They're full feathers, but you only see half of it. So all the line work that went this way is going to be continued over here. So you don't want to go into the mantle. You're stopping short of that. And all of them are angled this way. Then you come this way. And you want to keep them close. If you miss, just rake it through again. And I keep on going. I want to keep that angle the same. Right on down. Then this one. Okay, like that. Then I'm going to do the next one. And they're all going in the same angle. And what it is, we're given an illusion. You're only seeing half the feather being shown. It's exposed. That's the key to this. You're not showing the whole feather. Except for the top one, like that, okay? Then, I'm going to start on these right in here, this whole grouping right in here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm coming in on a 45-degree angle. Hope you can see this well. Then I'll do a few this way so that I don't have to change positions. And I keep on burning all of these going down. Then I'll do another one. And you could feel that lip we have for the feather, and you're sort of, as you're burning, because it's the hottest part of the tip, it flattens that raised section and gives it a smooth look. But this gives it a real nice look this way, the way we're doing it. It softens it, and at the same time, it gives us an individual look of a feather here. And that's what we want to do. These are outstanding feathers that stand on this bird, that are outstanding, I should say. And if I miss a spot, I just go raking back into the same direction, okay? So I did a grouping of 4 there. Now I'm going to come 45 this way. Burn in. Right up to the mantle, but not on the mantle, okay? At least on that first one. Then I come down on these. This. Do this one. And the last one down here. Okay, so we got that grouping in there. Let me sneak one in there. Now, for these coming down, you're only seeing half the feather, like what's being exposed over here. So that angle, you're going to maintain all the way down. So the same angle we have on this feather for the veining continues. Once you establish it, you're doing it all the way down. And you want to keep these lines as close as you can get. Okay? That's the beauty of it. And the reason why we're burning this way, rather than from the inside out, we're doing the outside in, is we're lowering the lip that we just created. That's just to give it a soft look, but it's still an individual feather. And I find that it shows better this way, so that's why I'm teaching you how to do it this way. So I'm still doing that 45-degree angle right in there. And I sort of been doing this, and I make it look easy, but take your time and get each individual feather, take your time and just do it. I tend to make it look easy, and I know that, but there it is. There's that grouping, okay? And it gives it a nice look. The hottest part of the tip is on the outside, and that lowers that lip, and then everything pulls in. And you don't want to go past the quill. You're coming up. You'll have to practice a little bit, just like with these up in here. Now I'm going to do these up in here. So I don't want to go into these. So I make sure I stop short when I get to them. So I'm going to come in on a 45-degree angle to the quill. And if you notice, it burns hot on that outside edge. Now I'm going to come this way. And don't linger, don't act as if you got to get the whole thing real dark. If you do, fine, but try to, if you're doing it right, you're plunging on the front end, and it's sort of lifting. I don't know how to describe it. It's not a total lift. You have to sort of develop it a little bit. That's the only way I can say. You practice a little bit, even on that board. You can get like a piece of plywood and practice it on there and do it that way. And we're getting this going here pretty good. Okay, we missed a little spot here. I could see it. There we go. Got that. Now, I'm going to do the grouping down in here, and we're doing the same thing. We're going on a 45-degree angle, right on up. These are on top. This comes back. If you miss one, like I just did there, I just go back over it again. As long as I'm going in the same direction. And these are, what you're seeing is half feathers being exposed here. It's just like all the rest of them. There's no quill on the grouping coming down here that you'd see, except for that beginning part. Everything else here is the same angle as the one in front of it. And then, but it's all like a 45-degree angle. As long as you keep those angles going in the right direction. They're not matching these guys up here. They're matching what you did down here. And I like burning. And I usually try to get myself into a comfortable position. And I know I'm going to just take my time. Now, you do have a quill in here, but I'm going up to the quill just like I did if we had a big feather showing. But all these are 45 into the existing feathers here. It's almost like you're following the line work from the feather above. Okay. And for some of you, this may get tedious enough that you may want to take a break along the way. I'm trying to give you a finished product, but burning sometime can be a little lengthy, and you want to do your best work when you're in the mood for it. So sometimes you want to take a break too. I'm doing it, and I've done it so long that I tend to not even think about it. And once I'm going, But and then there's like an open spot that I have here, so I just go back and I hit it again. As long as you're going in the same direction of your veining, you can miss a spot and still come back. But you're always keeping the same pressure of the burn, when you're pushing in. So it's not getting deeper in one spot and another. You get consistent with how much the wood and the pen is allowing you to push in, and it gives you some resistance. So go with it, and you learn as you go. And you'll make some mistakes. That'll happen. I did it. I should show you my first piece. A lot of mistakes, so it happens. Now I'm doing the last leg on this one, and what I mean the last wing, not leg. And I'm bringing this up. There's another one I skipped a little bit. So this is hardly anything showing here, but I'm trying to finish up as if like it came right on up in there. And I texture in that same direction. Okay. Now, the only thing I need left on this side is this half. So I come on a 45-degree angle, sweep them in. There you go. Now, you got little ones here. You got to just about touch them because there's hardly any room in there. They're small. There you go. There's half of it. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you would, is exactly what I did here. You're doing over here. You're putting the quills in first. Then you're coming from the outside in and pulling them up towards the quill on a 45-degree angle. This way and this way. And then you go this way on this side of the quill. And you do that for all of them, okay? And if you could do that, that would be great, okay? And doing some of the lifting over here, to undercut that after you get that done. You can come in here and undercut that. And this step down will match all the way around here. You got that flame tip or coming all the way around here about the depth of this flame tip. Don't forget that, okay? And lift that up and then go to your big, what's the name? Where is it? Oh, here it is. You go to your bigger flame to get that point in there and clean that out and roll it around so it has a nice rollover, okay? And that gives separation between the wing and the breast, okay? And then you can go in and burn it. And then there we go. Now, as I showed you maybe in some other ones, you'll notice that this is a lot darker, it looks, and this is, what's the name, a lot lighter because the dust gets in here. And before we even start painting this thing, I'm going to show you how to clean this up a little bit. These brushes, this is horsehair brush. I put it into my machine, and then I turn my machine down to half speed because you don't want those hairs to fly. Now, watch this. When I go over this area that had been burnt previous to this, see how it brightens up? It gets all that dust out of there. And you'd be surprised, even for what we did here, it'll get the dust out and this becomes brighter again. But before we paint, we'll get this all bright again. See how that contrast changes? And that's the trick of getting the dirt out before we even start painting and sealing it and everything else. So I would appreciate if you could get this side to look like this side, same technique. And we hope you got something out of this one. And if you did, I would ask you to give me a thumbs up And if you would subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that too. And the bird's coming along. We will be doing our tail next. And depending how long that takes, we'll do the underneath side, and I'll show you how to develop that. And then we'll go on to the breast, and I'll show you how to lift the breast feathers and how we treat that one as well. But we're moving our way down on the bird. And we still have this area to get yet, but that'll be like this area in here. I'll show you how to do that later, okay? So if you can get that done, that'd be great. And I hope you enjoyed what you had seen and learned something. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you ever need anything, always contact me through my email, which is Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7 @gmail.com. I will get a catalog out to you, and you'll have my number to get a hold of me, or my email, and we can converse. And if you have any questions, also add them to the comment section of this video, or write to me through my email, and I'll gladly try to help you out if I confused you in any way along the way here, okay? So see you on the next video, and we'll be marching on to the tail. Okay, so we'll see you then. I hope you enjoyed it.